Infinite is around the corner, and a lot of you guys are asking me how I want to see them handle Halo's iconic Magnum for this release in the franchise. Do I want the Magnum to continue to be the dominant primary starting weapon like we've seen in Combat Evolved in Halo 5? Or would I rather see the Magnum take more of a backseat role like in other installments of the franchise? Well, let's take a look at all the other versions of the Magnum again and talk about, at least in my opinion, what their strengths and weaknesses were throughout the series. But more importantly, how strong should Halo Infinite's Magnum be? Now before we get too far ahead, if you enjoy the video, consider dropping a like and subscribing. It helps me out a lot more than you guys think, so it'd be very appreciated. Okay, I'll stop, I'm sorry. I mean, wow, what a truly special weapon to start this video off with. I feel like when I'm using this weapon, I'm almost playing like on one of those shoot 'em up arcade games or something. It feels like an absolute fucking cannon. Now this game was made back way before realism was ever a priority in video games, and it shows. Every weapon feels absurdly powerful in this game, and the Magnum is no exception. I mean, look at the size of this thing. I mean, if you look relative to the Master Chief, he's like 7 feet tall, so the Magnum being that big in his hands means it's pretty fucking big. I wonder what else is sizable on Master Chief. Eh? Also, did I mention it's a 50 cal? Yeah, a 50 cal. Told you it was a fucking cannon. Sporting a 3-shot kill and one of the shortest time to kills of any non-power weapon in the entire franchise, this gun is an absolute beast and a truly dominant force on the battlefield. Now it is important to acknowledge that while absolutely dominant, this gun had a huge learning curve with its bullet spread and projectile-based shots, making it one of my personal favorites in the entire franchise. It's absurdly good, but in no way is it easy to use. Important to note though that this weapon easily overshadowed all of the others in the sandbox as completely dominant. And for some people that prefer a little more variation in their gameplay, this can become super old. Not to mention that aesthetically, some people really don't enjoy playing with a handgun versus a full-on rifle, and I respect that. But if you're like me and strive to master difficult weapons and want to be rewarded for your hard work and grind in the game, then you'll absolutely love it. So you know how we just talked all about how good the CE Magnum was? Well, in good old sequel fashion, we saw the developers make this gun even bigger and better than before, right?
Wrong.
That is absolutely
wrong.
Proved over and over again.
Wrong.
The role of dominant in almost any scenario, perfect utility weapon was actually passed on to the brand new battle rifle, while the Magnum sadly turned into another generic good for almost nothing pea shooter that we see so commonly with handguns and first-person shooters. I mean, seriously, this gun went from a 3-shot kill to now a what, 10, 11, 65 shot? Too many to count every time, that's for sure. But I have to be completely honest. While this weapon was extremely weak and not viable in many situations, it's an absolute blast to use. Something about actually killing someone with this gun was so satisfying. Like, it's so bad, it's fun to try to challenge yourself and actually get kills with it. Oh yeah, did I mention you can dual wield? Yeah, you can run and gun with these things ripping off shots like you're John fucking Wick or something. Oh, by the way, this combo makes this gun actually disgusting. But even when you have 2 of these things, they still aren't super strong. Plus all of the other limitations you have with dual wielding, no nading, meleeing, switching weapons, you get my point. So I still ultimately feel like this gun isn't super viable, and I definitely don't want the Infinite Magnum to be nerfed into the dirt like this, even if it is kind of fun. Now, in an effort to save time, I'm going to group these 3 versions of the Magnum together and talk about them all at the same time, because I feel like both Bungie and 343 nailed these versions of the Magnum, and this is exactly what I want to see the Magnum return to in Infinite. Now, the Halo 3, Halo Reach, and Halo 4 Magnums may all be different, but they have all one beautiful thing in common. What is it, you ask? Is it the zoom feature returned from Combat Evolved? Nope, Halo 3's didn't have that. Is it a super fast fire rate like we saw in Halo 2? Nope, Halo 3's didn't have that either. Is it their magazine size? No, actually they do have that in common, but that's not what I like about them. None of them even have the same look. In fact, if you look at all these weapons separately, they're all quite different. So what is it they have in common? They are all proportionally just a bit weaker than their primary weapon counterparts found in the sandbox. Where Halo 3's battle rifle was a 4-shot kill, the Magnum was a 5-shot kill. Halo Reach's DMR was a 5-shot kill, and the same can be said for the Magnum, but the magazine capacity was 8 rounds, and the weapon often needed to be fired a bit slower for it to remain consistently effective. Halo 4's battle rifle was a 4-shot kill, and the Magnum was a 6-shot kill. Bloom was present on the Halo 4 Magnum, but you could still achieve a very quick kill with it as long as you were paying attention. What I love about this dynamic is that for whatever reason, if you find yourself in a situation where the Magnum is all that you have left, you don't feel absolutely hopeless like you would in Halo 2. When you have to go up against the opposition, who are all well armed with primary precision weapons, you still have a chance with these sidearms. These versions of the Magnum are just a bit harder to use than what you're most used to in each respective title, yet they are all entirely viable. A good player can make work around the map with these weapons, and I feel like that's exactly what you should want out of a sidearm. Just in case that isn't specific enough for you guys though, if I had to pick one of these three to base the Infinite Magnum off of, I'd probably have to go with Halo 4's. Something about this gun just feels the best to me. I don't know, I really like it. Besides the fact that it's kinda textureless and ugly. Now, we do have to talk about my baby, the Halo 5 Magnum. I'm gonna be very candid. I adore this weapon, and I feel like it's one of the best balanced and tuned weapons in the entire series. It remains challenging at close and long ranges while still being effective at all ranges. I could talk about this gun for days, but to be honest, there's really not much of a point because I don't feel like this is what the Magnum should return to. I could sit here and talk about all the things I like about it, but there's really no reason to. A super common criticism I see for this weapon is that it's too good and overshadows the other weapons around it. I would traditionally agree that this is an issue, but this weapon was designed to be the primary starting precision weapon. I would knock 343 for making it too good if that wasn't exactly what they were trying to do. As a starting weapon, it offers an extremely diverse skill spectrum, and it is incredibly satisfying to become consistent with.
The double perfy.
Combat Evolved's Magnum didn't have so much of an issue being this good because there weren't other weapons like it to compare it to at the time. It was the only weapon of its kind in its class, so there really wasn't a too good or not good enough dynamic. Anyways guys, these are my thoughts on the Magnum and what I would like to see going into Halo Infinite. What would you guys like to see? Tell me in the comments below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you didn't, fuck you! Kidding, relax. No, seriously guys, please be sure to give me any comments down below if you have any thoughts or something that you'd like to see me make a video on and cover in the future. I've been really enjoying trying out this new format on my channel, and it seems like you guys are liking it as well. And I would like to continue to make things of this nature, but I just want to continue to have good ideas so we can continue to roll with them. Now, just in case anybody's concerned, gameplays are not going to disappear from my channel. They just often will be less frequent, I feel like, as I want to focus more on some content that I feel has a little bit more heart in it, like this. And you'll still see gameplays when I feel like I have good ones to share. Also, gameplays are a lot easier to make, and definitely some filler content that I would like to keep putting out for you guys. Anyways, that's all my time for the day. I love you guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you enjoyed. I'll catch you all in the next one.